Good morning, everybody. We are the Investing Bros.
So taking a look here today, guys, big one today is going to be the Fed Chair Powell's testimony. That's going to be taking place 8 a.m. my time. So here in about less than an hour. Of course, he's going to be on again tomorrow. It's a 2-day testimony in front of Congress. So really the rest of the week, nothing major coming in. Next week, again, like I've been telling you guys, June 30th, that's going to be the big day. PCE data coming in, the number one piece of data that the Fed Reserve looks at when they're talking about interest rate hikes. So see what that PCE looks like right now, just so you guys are tracking. The core PCE on that is looking like year over year that it's going to go from 4.4 to 4.1 on a forecast. So it looks like it could be coming down. Trueflation coming in at 2.42%, still well under what the U.S. Federal Reserve is reporting. Look at our liquidations, guys. I'm going to bet a lot of short liquidations. Yeah, $73.9 billion in liquidated shorts on Bitcoin. People betting against the market. How do you avoid that? Well, you could have watched Investing Bros yesterday where we told you Bitcoin was very likely going up, not down. I guess they weren't tuned in here and they paid the price with on REKT. So that's what happened there.
Looking at the CME futures, so nothing different here. I want to kind of point the attention to the July of 2023, 80% chance, give or take, we're going to get another rate hike. So nothing changing there. It does look like December, they're expecting it to kind of end where we might get one more raise and then pause right there. I went over and I was going through all the dates of 2024, and you know what I found right now? And this is a long way off, but they are predicting here on the CME futures tool that December of 2024, the highest percentage of a chance that we could end the year off in 2024 is down to 350 to 375. That would be massive. So CME futures at this point predicting that something forces the Fed to go into rate cuts starting the year off in January 2024. So going to be interesting to watch what happens over the next 2 years. Something that is a little bit alarming. I'm not going to say it's the end of the world. I'm not going to say that this means that Bitcoin's rally is over, but we jumped 10 points last night up to 59 squarely into the greed on Bitcoin, on the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index. And this doesn't even fully show what happened, because I believe when this registered 59, I think the price of Bitcoin was probably closer to over here back towards 28,000, even not even pushing towards 29. So I'm interested to see what Bitcoin's price does the rest of today. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow to see how that updates. But if we keep swinging into the greed, guys, a lot of times you're using that thing right there, that fear and greed index, you're using it to say, if I see fear, that means I probably want to buy. If I see greed, I might be looking for some take profit. So we'll keep you posted on what's happening over there. That being said, though, guys, it is time to jump in and talk about price action a lot more. We have our very, very special guest, one of my favorite people in all of crypto, Mr. Caleb Franzen, joining us from Istanbul. How are you doing this morning, Caleb?
Doing well. Obviously, the hair is growing out a little bit, so we're just running with it.
Yeah, my hair's growing too. I've been wearing a hat. I don't know what's going to happen when I take this hat off. I think the people deserve it.
There we go. I think I got some length on you right now, but
I hate it. Let's just start off with what is happening with Bitcoin price. What are you seeing on the charts? Do you think that we're nearing a top, or is this just the beginning of a fresh rally?
I think neither, to be quite honest. I don't think we're near a top. I've been bullish since maybe like 18 or 19,000 when we broke above the short-term holder realized price. And since then, we've just kind of continued to make improvements from a structural, technical standpoint. When we were at 30 to 31,000, I was telling people on podcasts I was doing, on my newsletter, on Twitter, I would love for a chance to get back into the 25 to 26,000 range, because that lines up perfectly with a retest of the 200-week moving average cloud. So I combined both the exponential and simple moving average, but in that case, looking at the 200-week moving average cloud. And sure enough, we came right into that zone. I was posting about it this weekend that I was buying once again because we were right in that moving average cloud. A lot of confluence in that zone, right? Not only were we retesting the 200-week moving average, we were also retesting the 200-day moving average. Gave me some degree of confidence that that would be a good time to be buying as a long-term investor.
Looking even this morning, Caleb, at the Bitcoin CME futures, there's two gaps that I think are going to be interesting to watch. Yeah, we have one way up here, up at 52 as well, 53, I think. But there were two more closer gaps we have. This one we've had listed for a while here on our channel. But I was zooming in this morning. I was taking a look here, and technically speaking, We created a gap back here in April of 2022 up here at the price of about 41,200. A lot of people have said the number 42,000. Of course, a lot of times you don't just touch the very tip of gaps. You usually run through them a little bit through. It would make sense for a run up to about 42,000, closing both of these gaps. Where do you see the peak on Bitcoin coming in before we potentially move into a boring phase before the real bull market starts?
I mean, man, it's been pretty boring for the last 3 months, you know? So I feel like before I can really entertain those significantly, I'm going to need to see new year-to-date highs, right? And so that rejection that we had at 31,000 aligned with structural resistance. I'm staying super flexible, but I think given the, statistical accomplishments that we've already achieved and kind of checked off my list, I have to be bullish here. And, I've become increasingly bullish as the year's gone on.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
There's actually a chart. Maybe I could pull it up if you want to share my screen here as I get this going. I've been looking at total 3, and then I take out USDT and USDC.
They were discussing this on the show yesterday because I was sick about how you get rid of stable coins. So here, I knew if we get Caleb Franz on the show, we're going to find out so much more.
So you could see we were in this massive uptrend, right? So in November of 2020, total 3 minus stable coins was at 77 billion. It basically got as high as 1 trillion. That's substantially more than a 10x. So as I look at the environment right now, we've had this massive pullback since the November 2021 highs. And where are we right now? First of all, we're kind of in this descending wedge pattern. First of all, this structure is not bullish. Coming back into the zone, I was considering taking some alt swings. If altcoins are going to rally anywhere, this green box is a pretty logical place for that rally to occur. Where what I want to see is after we create new lows on a recent time frame, going back to the March of 2023 lows, if we can get back above that, sometimes I call it, like I said, it's like a volleyball or just like any kind of ball underwater where it's just going to have this explosive move higher. I'm a little concerned with this setup right now, given the fact that we also have pretty clear price structure slightly above this zone, right? So you could see support here, resistance here, support here, basically support here, and support here. So just because we break above this wick here doesn't necessarily mean that we're out of the woods yet. So it kind of depends on the nature of your risk tolerance and how aggressive a trader is willing to be.
Bitcoin ETF race intensifies as WisdomTree and Invesco both file submissions within 24 hours of joining BlackRock. So they're piling on, guys. BlackRock has taken the lead here. Big institutional bank coming out and saying, hey, let's go ahead and file the ETF. That was last week's news. Big for Bitcoin. And now WisdomTree and Invesco are doing the same. Andrew Tate, you've probably seen him trending around. Andrew Tate's 500,000 in Bitcoin seized by Romanian prosecutors. So this raises questions about crypto. It raises questions more about Andrew Tate. It doesn't get into detail about it, but that 500, it looks like it also includes luxury cars, watches, properties. So approximately 21 Bitcoin.
Andrew Tate's the type of person I bet you they could torture him, and he's not giving up that seed phrase.
Sounds like you got a lot of faith in Andrew Tate there. So we'll see.
I have faith in his ability not to give away his money. That's what I have faith in.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything else about what I think about him because I have mixed feelings, but I don't think.
Pentagon accounting error overestimates value of weapons sent to Ukraine by 6.2 billion. Cue all the IRS memes and how they're aggressively trying to get the extra $1,000 from you, but there's a 6.2 billion rounding error that they can't account for there. And then last but not least, guys, we have a pretty interesting Tim Foyle hat story. So Tim, I'll let you go ahead and pitch this one here.
Eleanor Tourette. I think her last name's Tourette. I don't know. Every time I've talked with her, I've just called her Eleanor or Ellie. She works for Fox. She's a big proponent for the crypto space. Spends her time just literally doing nothing but researching what's going on with the SEC. Like her full-time job is diving into what's happening with the SEC and their involvement with crypto. So she put out a tweet this morning. Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin is listed as a co-founder of WX Blockchain. So I actually didn't know what WX Blockchain was, but then she elaborates, a part owner of Prometheum, which was recently given rights to operate crypto. So you guys know about Prometheum. Most of you know about Prometheum, this very sketchy exchange that came out of nowhere, being used as the staple of what the SEC wants crypto exchanges to look like. A lot of fishy stuff going on in there. The details are still coming out, and this is just one more of them. Vitalik Buterin is a co-founder of a company that is a part owner. Things are looking a little sketchy here.
Wow, you made it to the end of the video. Great job.
Now, if you want more content like this, whether it be TA on Bitcoin and Ethereum or altcoins, or you just want to stay up to date on the latest and greatest news in crypto, then stay tuned and tune in to our 9 a.m. live show every single weekday morning. It's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And when you tune in live, use the keyword grip strength in the chat, and you'll get a special shout out from anyone who's paying attention to the chat. Love to see you there.